Kilarigbo Live TV, ìkànnì amúlùdún àkọ́kọ́ tó ń gbé àṣà àti ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ Yorùbá lárugẹ.
Hello. They say Nigeria was the happiest nation in the whole world. We are getting it back, whether the devil is or not. All right. Everyone, please, can we please rise up on our feet? Let's rise up on our feet. Everybody, please, can you kindly please move a bit away from there? With all due respect, can you please rise up on your feet? And we're going to count down. In fact, I don't want us to count down. I want us to count up. Yes, because it's moving up. It started from 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to count from 10 up to 80. And by the grace of God, 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. Say all of us, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, and so say all of us. Hip hip hip, hooray! Hip hip hip, hooray! Hip hip hip, hooray! Happy birthday, President Muhammodu Buhari at 80.
Orúkọ mi ni Ìyálóde Ìyábọ̀ Àrínọlá Awokoya. Nǹkan tá tiẹ̀ ń ṣe lénìí ó yẹ kí n kọ́kọ́ sọ yẹn fún yín pé èní ni ààrẹ Buhari ni wọ́n pé 80. So àwa ń ṣe ayẹyẹ ọjọ́ ìbí. Àwa fúnra wa náà ni bí ẹni pé kán sọ pé gbọ̀rọ̀ mi rò àbí akànṣá gbé Buhari lórí. Kò sẹ́ni rán wa ń ṣẹ́ aṣáàsọpá a fẹ́ ṣe birthday fún. Wọ́n fẹ́ wọ́n kọ̀. Àwa kóra wa jọ, a dá aṣọ, a sanwó, a dá aṣọ fúnra wa, àwa wá síbí, àdẹ̀wà ń ṣe ayẹyẹ ọjọ́bí. Títorí kíni wàá fẹ́ gbọ́, nǹkan tí a fi ń ṣayẹyẹ fún ààrẹ Buhari ni pé inú wa dùn púpọ̀ fún. A rí pé èèyàn tó jẹ́ pé olóòótọ́ ni, olódodo èèyàn ni. Láti àwa èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí èèyàn kan, mo ti pé 61 years. So ó pẹ́ tí mo ti mọ ààrẹ Buhari. Mo ti mọ̀ láti 1983 nígbà yẹn èmi jẹ́ bí ọmọ ọdún méjìlélógún nígbà yẹn. Mo dẹ̀ rí pé nǹkan tó ń sọ nígbà yẹn pé kí Nàìjíríà dìde kán ṣe bí èèyàn tó dáa, kí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ kí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú wọn, kí wọ́n ní ìbẹ̀rù fún Ọlọ́run, kí wọ́n má ṣe nǹkan burúkú, kí wọ́n má gbé drugs, kí wọ́n má gbé nǹkan. Gbogbo nǹkan tó sọ láyé àtijọ́, cocaine ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ńgbà yẹn ni. Ìgbà yẹn wọ́n ń pè ní àtíkè ọlà. Àwọn jùjú musicians, àwọn Fuji, wọ́n á máa fi kọrin pé àtíkè ọlà. Kò yé wa, àmọ́ nǹkan tó ń pè ní àmọ́ pé cocaine ni. Ìgbà tí Buhari dé, tí ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ pé kíní yìí wọn kì í ṣe nílùú wa. Kí ló wá dé tẹ̀ ń gbé wọ̀lú yìí? Tẹ wá fẹ́ sọ̀lú yìí di ibi tẹ́ ti máa bá yé àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké jẹ́, ni wọ́n bá pàṣẹ ńgbà yẹn pé kí wọ́n máa pa àwọn tí wọ́n bá ti mú tí wọ́n gbé cocaine. Ṣùgbọ́n bí ọ̀rọ̀ wa ṣe máa ń rí nílùú yìí, ẹni tó bá fẹ́ kí nǹkan da fún wa à ń fẹ́ gbà sí, à kì í fẹ́. Wọ́n bu títí wọ́n lè yan burúkú ni ó wicked ó ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. Ó dá war against indiscipline lẹ̀ kí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ kí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́, kí gbogbo àwọn politicians gbà yẹn tán jalè tán dàlú irú tó jẹ́ pé à ń tò fún milk nígbà yẹn wọ́n ń pè wọ́n ní essential commodity. Bí wọ́n ṣe bàálù ìjẹ́ngbà yẹn tó wá ní 1983 yẹn, ó bẹ̀ wá títí pé ká ṣiṣẹ́. Ṣùgbọ́n ńgbà tí Babangida dé tó lé kúrò lórí oyè, àwọn èèyàn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí celebrate, inú wọn ń dùn. Wọ́n rántí ilé ọ̀gbẹ́ni tó burú yẹn, òun àti ìdí àgbọn, wọ́n náà kì í rẹ́rìn o. Buhari wá, Babangida wá dé, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí rẹ́rìn, ó tún wá léjì. Bó ṣe ń rẹ́rìn báyìí nínú àwọn èèyàn ń dùn. Wọn ò mọ̀ pé ìyà tí Buhari fẹ́ sọ pé kó má jẹ wọ́n, òun ló máa padà jẹ wọ́n. Láti ìgbà tí Babangida ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó da gbogbo ìlú irú, àwọn ọmọdé, àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ò wá tiẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan kan mọ́. Àtìgbà yẹn náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ kán má máa fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣàdàrú títí Babangida ń fi gbogbo wa tó ń fi wá tayò. Wọ́n ń pè ní Maradona. Bó ṣe fi wá tayò sí ló ṣe gba orúkọ yẹn. Èní ìyá sọ pé òun dá political party lẹ̀ fúnra òun. Ìkan NRC, ìkan SDP. Á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe local government. Gbogbo ilé tó kọ́ fún political parties fún gbà yẹn, ó kọ́ méjì sí each local government. Gbogbo wọn di ilé èkúté, wọn di ilé ẹyẹ nígbà tó pẹ́. Ìgbà tó pẹ́ ló sọ pé okay o, kán bẹ̀rẹ̀ election. Bí wọ́n ṣe gbé tatún yan Abiola nìyẹn. Bábíọ́lá ṣe tún kú mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́ nìyẹn. So ńgbà tí ààrẹ Buhari dẹ̀ wá rí pé ìlú yìí tóun ti fẹ́ kí nǹkan da fún tí ò ṣáà ṣe é ṣe yìí, okay o, ṣé wọn ò fẹ́ military? Òun dẹ̀ ti rìtá, wọ́n tiẹ̀ ti lé kúrò ní. Babangida ló yọ, kì í ṣe pé ó rìtá, ó lé kúrò ní. After tó ti mọ́lé for ọdún mẹ́ta ni Babangida fi ààrẹ Buhari tó ti mọ́ ilé.
Some of us knew that there was something unique about this man. You see, I'm from the Fawayimi family, and the background that I come from is one of very, very disciplined family. My father used to wake us up by 4:30. I still wake up at 4 o'clock now. And what he used to say to us is this: light must not meet you on the bed still sleeping. That is, sunlight must not be up before you get out of your bed. So in our house, between 4 to 4:30, we're all up doing some work. So discipline has been a second nature in my life. So when Buhari came in first and he was all about discipline, it was something that some of us welcomed. And Nigeria was still good then. You see, a lot of reasons why people don't like me very much, and I owe them no apology. I don't care. Sometimes I don't like myself as well. You know, I would have said yes. I would have said some things in a very frank manner and then go back home, reflect, and I'll say, perhaps I was a little bit too tough on that person, and I'll come back to say, okay, I'm sorry. So sometimes I get it wrong. But discipline can't be wrong. It can't be wrong for a nation. The great nations of this world all have that in common. The citizens all stood together and decided that they were going to make their nations work. That is what is lacking in Nigeria. We want a good nation, but we don't want to work for that nation. We have been talking about corruption. Let us examine ourselves. Corruption in the private sector is even of a height more than the government. So we need to look at what Buhari came to do. He came to fight corruption at that time, because that was when the civilians had just destroyed the economy. When Buhari came, a lot of us are young, so we don't know, but those of us who were old at that time, there was a time we were buying things that were called essential commodities. We had to go and queue up to get things, to buy rice. So, precisely, because the politicians had messed up the economy. So he came back and he tried to position us into discipline, and let's do this, let's do things together. And of course, our corrupt nature did not want that. So what did we do? We kicked him out. I remember when Buhari, IBB, Babangida came, I was somewhere in Lawansin, at Lawansin Market. And I remember one woman, and I'm going to speak Yoruba. She did like this, she had a big bomb. And I remember her saying, Babangida. So happy that somebody had kicked out a disciplinarian. We wanted our indiscipline, and we got it. Every single thing Buhari said we should do, the pill that seemed to be bitter, that he wanted us to swallow at that time, that we rejected. This man came, IBB, and began all sorts of nonsense. Sir, he was telling us to talk. Do we want IMF? Do we want structural adjustment? We were all wasting our time. In the long run, we went into years of unseriousness. Nothing happened. He was just playing us. So again, this man, the child of destiny. Some of us have been following Buhari's trajectory since he became a politician. Every time trying to vote for him and losing. That when he finally won, thanks to Ashiwaju's alliance and the rest of it, when he finally won, it was our opportunity at last to go back again and reset Nigeria. But corruption was not going to have that. And this corruption I'm talking about is corruption of every one of us. Look at this wonderful group of people. If we had said, all of you paid money to buy this ashok, this is a party that we did on our own. There's no political person here who has given us any money. Because none of us here is expecting anything from anybody. And you, every one of us here in this room, we are the ones that Nigeria needs. People who will stand for integrity. Please, let me beg you. Everything is not about money. Everything is not about money. You can be at peace with yourself and not be relying so much on money, because God will always supply your needs, not your wants. That is all that Buhari has been teaching us. Live within your means. Stop envying people. Ṣébòtímọ́ àkàrà yìí sí 5,000 naira ní gbogbo àrè èyí tí mo gbé sórí ìwọ̀n fún wa ní àwọn organizers lọ́pàá wa ní gèdè. Otherwise 5,000 tẹ̀sán bèbí náà san. You get what I'm saying? So we are all looking happy and really gaily dressed. We are all happy because we are not going to go outside now and somebody will be asking us to come and pay what we owe. If we had to go and buy lace, we will be owing. Why do that to yourself? Live within your means. You will be content and you will be at peace if you don't have unnecessary problems. So this is the thing that our president has been teaching. Live within your means and also work hard. I agree that you can work smart, you can work hard, but combine the two. Work hard and work smart. There is no reason. We have so much to gain in this country. Yet, a lot of us, there's so much opportunity. I was in England for a period of about 5 weeks or 6 weeks in October, November. And I saw things differently again. I am a proud Nigerian. Everywhere I go, I don't even want, I represent this nation proudly. And I do it proudly because there is no Oyibo that has more brain as far as I'm concerned than me. So there's just no, like the wonderful lady said, everywhere Nigerians go, our brain. My daughter works presently in McKinsey. She's a medical doctor. We are still having that argument on whether a medical doctor should go and start doing consulting. But she let her try what she wants to try. But in that McKinsey, London, the head is a Nigerian. One day she said to me, Mommy, we have almost so many Nigerians in this McKinsey consult. That is us. We're very brilliant. We're very smart. We're very brilliant. So there's no how that we cannot make money with our brains. So we don't really need to now turn everything into corruption. When there are ways by which we can actually do well, why do we have to be corrupt? So we need people like us in this room, those who have integrity, who will stand for Nigeria and say, I will not be corrupted. So this is what President Buhari did for us. He kept on. You know, when he was as head of state then, of course, he was going to have coalition with the civil society organizations. It was bound to happen. Because this is somebody who brought out all sorts of decrees. All sorts of decrees. We had war against discipline. That was not by degree, that was just by practice. But we had detention of persons. Degree 2. Degree 2, Idiagbon was the only person, once he signed a paper, you were taken to Itaoko, an island in Ekpe, where crocodiles were your natural guards. That was Buhari. Apart from that, there was also Decree 4, in which he took the journalists. If they published nonsense, they were going to be arrested and locked up. Thompson, Irabon, and I've forgotten the other person. Yeah, they were locked up. It's unbelievable that Thompson later came to start supporting Buhari because he knew the person. But let me tell you something. A lot of people said at that time that Buhari was a dictator. And I always laugh. If you know jurisprudence, you will know that a successful coup begets its own legality. It is only if a coup fails that it becomes illegal, then they can be shot at the firing squad and killed. But a successful coup gets its own legality. So after that successful coup, every single law passed by the military were all legal laws, harsh or not. So all the nonsense of the civil society to say is a dictator, is a this, it's lack of knowledge of the law. So when the thing happened, the Nigerian Bar Association, this is not the first time of being against sex. I'm one of them. You know, the Nigerian Bar Association went against Buhari then in 1983-84, and they said that no lawyer should attend military tribunals. And my dear darling uncle, with this my wonderful husband, working there in Chief Garifa, that's where we met. In Chief Garifa. So my dear darling uncle, Chief Garifa of blessed memory, insisted that it was illegal for the NBA to stop lawyers from rendering their constitutional duty of defending accused persons. That it's against the ethics of the profession for lawyers not to defend. How can an association of law tell lawyers not to defend? So Gani went to court, and everybody in his chambers at that time working for him also went to court. Mr. Awokoya was also suspended by the Nigerian Bar Association for a short time. They didn't pursue a case against him because they thought he was acting under instructions of his boss. But they pursued a case against Gani. Seriously, that's why he was not made senior advocate of Nigeria for years. You know, so FBA, as they then were, are still continuing with the same persecution they had for Buhari at that time. It's nothing new. That's why some of us stand against MPA. So our president has not changed. He was against corruption in 83. When he was in PTF, the same thing. Now it's also the same, and we have seen it. There's also a naivety about him, that he just believes that once he has put people, that naivety is a problem. But you see, the other problem that is within is he doesn't talk. He's taciturn. The man cracks jokes, but he will not talk. So a lot of people have been so upset that what kind of president is this who will not talk? But when I was reflecting on that, I said, if you know a person, how many of you are married and you don't know your spouse? When your spouse keeps quiet, you read your own meaning into it. He doesn't need to tell you. So most of us who know General and President Buhari, we follow him with our hearts. The man will not talk, but we can read into his silence. When what do you call it? These children who are fighting, NSAS. When NSAS happened, I know somebody who works in the presidency called me, and he There was no, this is a friend. There was no abuse under the sun that my friend did not abuse me. But why are you saying he should not talk? Because I said on Twitter that if the president talks, it's fine. If he doesn't talk, it's also fine. That man abused my grandfather that did not think well before having married my grandmother and went to have my father and brought it back to me. I'm not joking. At a point when he was doing his tirade, I just held the phone like this. You know, when you finish, say you. And when he finished, I said, I don't understand your problem. I say if Buhari does not talk, I'm not bothered. What is it? What could be the reason for this fight? It is me who says I don't care. Why are you angry? Go and write your own now and say you care. You know, there should be no reason for this abuse. But guess what? All of us who wanted, all of you who wanted him to talk at that time would have gotten him to trouble. Because he had not gotten briefing from the military. A leader's silence is weighty. If you believe and you trust in a leader, you should be able to trust that he knows what he's doing. Every one of us, we all act as if we are armchair leaders. We are this, we are that, we are that. We are always offering solutions. How many of us are successful in our own businesses? If we have all the solutions, how come we are all still having problems managing one small business? So we should know that things are complicated. So my president is my president. Is your president Akoni? You know, real life Akoni. Akoni means something joyous has happened. Something beautiful has happened to us. Boo-boo. Kiletukwe, Baba, boo-boo. That PMP, you know, Akoni, integrity, and your own. You know, we thank God for him. I am proud of all of us here. I'm proud of you because how many, thank you very much. How many of you have lost friends to Buhari? How many of you? How many of you have lost family? How many of you have WhatsApp group? Come to me, and you don't pull out your But guess what? My dear ones, guess what? If there is an Onifa now, Tontifa, Toda or Belengesibe, Kini Yemanyon, Kino Manso. Because the man did not disappoint us. They even gave him a second wife on Twitter. They were pretty wedding invitation. There was honestly, it's been a wonderful 8 years or 7.5 years. We have weathered all sorts. Finally, let me just say that we need to repeat. We need to now be determined. The evil, I'm sorry, another set of NSAS, children who do not know history, they have come and they call themselves obedience. I don't, because it's a public forum, I don't want to call them the name that I call them. So I'm going to say the obedience are there. They have good intentions. It's not these children's fault. These children want something good, but they want something good their own way. You know, a lot of us parents, we have them at home. So we also go through wondering what kind of human beings did we produce. Sometimes when you hear the businesses these children do nowadays, you are wondering whether you are normal. What are you doing? Oh, I'm an influencer. Actually, I have my Instagram page. Where is your office? Oh, I don't need a physical office. Virtual. Everything is now up. Mommy, kill and soy. The other thing that they always do that surprises or makes me laugh is when you ask them, how come if you are so good at all these things, why are you still living in the house? How come you are not standing on your own? At our own age, our parents would have iṣẹ́ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. These ones, you will still be looking after them. They will go and marry without work on this Instagram rubbish. They will marry, then you will have to start feeding them, sending money to them. Something is wrong though, so we have to go back to normal. So we have to make sure it is not people like the obedience that will vote somebody for us. So what Buhari has done is just to start the foundation. May God make us to build on it. And all of you, please, Nigerians are hungry. They keep saying that. I haven't really, I don't want to say I've not seen it because I help a lot of people, so I know people are suffering. But let me tell you something. Each one of us here can set somebody up in a business. Each one of us, even with 10,000 naira, somebody can start selling pure water. Even 5,000. So let us make it a point of duty that from whatever it is that we have, we will give a part of it to help another person. That's how nations get built up. So don't just, and don't keep thinking that you are poor. You are not poor. You are not poor. We are only poor in the fact that we cannot think and we don't have the courage to start anything. Whatever it is you have, start small. Start small. Test the waters with the toe before you dive in. So please, let us go and vote. Vote my party. Your party. I don't know about yours, but my party is APC. So, and no come. Yes. Our no come. Okay.
Ìgbà yẹn ló fi wá sọ pé okay o, òun á lọ di politician. Ó dẹ̀ try títí tó fi di pé ìgbà tóun àtàṣíwájú wá ní alliance ló fi wọlé. Bọ́ngbà tó tún débẹ̀, ó tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ the same thing. Káwọn ọ̀dọ́ kan ṣiṣẹ́, wọ́n ló ń bú wọn. Wọ́n ló ń sọ pé lazy Nigerian youth. Torí pé ó sọ fún wọn pé Yorùbá máa ń sọ wọ́n ní o ò ṣáági lọ́gbẹ́, o ò dẹ̀ ta ògùrọ̀ lọ́fà. Ó wá gbẹ́nu sí di ọ̀pẹ oníkọ́pẹ kó ro sí ẹlẹ́nu. Ṣé ọ̀pẹ máa ro sí ẹlẹ́nu nígbà tí kì í ṣe ìwọ tó ò ṣiṣẹ́? Nǹkan tó ti ń sọ látijọ́ ìfáwọn ọ̀dọ́ nìyẹn. Wọ́n ní kò fẹ́ràn àwọn. Kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ràn ọ̀dọ́ tó Buhari. Because gbogbo nǹkan tó ti ń ṣe, gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe, pé wọn ò níṣẹ́, òun ló fi kọ́kọ́ dá empower. Àwọn èèyàn ò dẹ̀ mọ̀, àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ò mọ̀ pé ìjọba president kọ́ ló ní iṣẹ́. Ìjọba governor, state àwọn ló ní iṣẹ́. President tó bá gba gbogbo èèyàn, gbogbo civil service presidency ní Abuja, gbogbo ẹ̀ ò tó 5 million. In fact, gbogbo civil service the whole 36 states ní Nigeria bóyá náà ju 10 million, 15 million. Ṣé àwọn iṣẹ́ wo ni president fẹ́ create fún wọn? President ń gba owó díẹ̀. Àwọn state 36 states wọ́n ń gbowó. State ò ní ṣiṣẹ́ wọn. Ṣé Abuja ní gbogbo ọmọ lé ń gbé ni? So ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ wa wọn ò mọ̀. Tó bá kọ́ wọn, wọ́n á bú ẹ. Pé ẹni tó fẹ́ràn wọn, state yín ó gbogbo ọ̀dọ́ pátápátá èyí tó ń pariwo pọ́n ṣe obedient, mi ò bá wọn wí. Ó da tán tí ẹ fẹ́ ṣe politics. But kán lọ sí gbogbo àwọn party yẹn. Kán lọ sí PDP, kán lọ sí APC, kán lọ jókòó bẹ́ẹ̀, kán lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀, kán wo gbogbo nǹkan tó ti ń ṣe. Local government kí wọ́n lọ, kán mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá máa rúùlù àkọ́kọ́ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Nǹkan táwọn politicians àgbàlagbà tán fi ní kọjá àwọn ọmọdé nìyẹn. Wọ́n tẹríba, wọ́n mọ bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe. But àwọn ọmọ yìí wọ́n kàn rò pé mo ṣàkàn bẹ àwọn ọmọdé. Torí èmi gan alára bí ààrẹ Buhari, bí wọ́n ṣe bú Buhari bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe ń bú mi. Mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ràn àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa gan. Mo fẹ́ kí ọ̀dọ́ kàn yé ṣe olè, kàn yé ṣe jàǹbá yahoo, kàn yé ṣe gbogbo kinní yẹn. Ìgbẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ ò dáa, wàá gbádùn owó. Wàá gbádùn owó tó bá pẹ́ wọ́n á mú ẹ, wàá lọ ṣẹ̀wọ̀n. kí ni gbogbo yẹn, kí ló ṣe wá tó jẹ́ pé àwa lójú tì mọ́ láyé àtijọ́ wàá fi owó ẹ sílẹ̀ ń bí, wàá fi ọjà ẹ síta nígbà táwa kéré, wàá gbé tray sílẹ̀, wàá fi ọsàn wẹ́wẹ́ tó fẹ́ tà àbó òròǹbó tó fẹ́ tà wàá gbé bẹ̀, wàá dẹ̀ fi tọrọ iye owó tó bá jẹ́ wàá fi sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, àwọn èèyàn á dẹ̀ wá bẹ̀ wọ́n á kó, wọ́n á dẹ̀ fowó wọn lẹ̀. Kò sẹ́ni, ìlú wa yẹn nìyẹn nígbà táwa kéré. Tí o bá tọ́mọ ẹ bá rìn kọjá géètì ẹ, àwọn èèyàn ló máa dá padà pé padà lọ. Nísìnyí àwọn ọmọdé ò tiẹ̀ fẹ́ kí àgbàlagbà míì tọ́ wọn á bú ẹ tó bá tọ́ wọn sí ọ̀nà. So wọ́n ní tí tọ́ bá bíyàn èèyàn á tún rẹ̀ bí. Excuse pé àwọn generation mi àwọn nọ́mbà yìí jẹ́ irọ́ nìyẹn, because tí wọn ò bá tán bá tiẹ̀ bá ẹ jẹ́ nílé, ìwọ̀gun alára ó ṣàyẹ kó mọ nǹkan tó dáa àti nǹkan tí ò dáa, àbí? So wọn tó bá lọ sí church, irọ́ náà máa sọ fún wọn church, wọn á ní pé prosperity, Ọlọ́run Jésù ò sọ pé kó poor. Meanwhile bíbélì kan náà ló tún sọ fún wọn pé kí ẹni tó lówó kó tó lè rí ìjọba ọ̀run wọ̀ á pẹ́. So téèyàn míì bá ń sọ fún ẹ pé kó lọ jalè kó tight wá, ó yẹ kó mọ̀ pé irọ́ lẹni náà ń pa fún ẹ. So tán bá tiẹ̀ kọ́yàn, ará ọmọ tó jẹ́ pé kò ní ìyá kò ní bàbá tí ò dẹ̀ ń ṣọmọ burúkú. So káwọn ọ̀dọ́ kan ṣiṣẹ́, kan yé ọ̀rọ̀ owó, kan yé kówó yé jẹ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ ó jọ jújù lọ́dọ̀ ayé wọn. Kí náà ń fi gbogbo fóònù tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́, everybody ó fẹ́ lo iPhone. Mo ti ṣiṣẹ́ 40 years. Tí ẹ bá rí iPhone lọ́wọ́ mi tó jẹ́ iPhone tó heavy, pẹ̀lú 40 years mo ti tó lò ó, mo ti tọ́ ọmọ, gbogbo wọn ti kàwé, wọn ti ṣe tán. Ìwọ tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jáde yunifásitì, iṣẹ́ wo lo ti ṣe? Kí ló fẹ́ gùn gbà tó bá dàgbà? Kí ló fẹ́ mọ́tò ló fẹ́ gùn tó gbà tó bá dàgbà? Ṣé òun sọ fúnra ẹ pé ò tiẹ̀ fẹ́ dàgbà ni? Pé gbogbo ayé tó fẹ́ jẹ ó fẹ́ jẹ nísìn. So mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀dọ́ kí wọ́n ṣọ́ra. Ìlú yìí àwa máa fi ilẹ̀, ẹ̀yin lẹ máa padà, tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ bàjẹ́ ẹ̀yin lẹ máa jèrè ìbàjẹ́ náà, àwa á ti lọ. So ti ara yín náà ni irú àwa báyìí máa ń sọ pé kẹ́ ṣe ilé ayé jẹ́jẹ́.
Kilarigbo Live TV, ìkànnì amúlùdún àkọ́kọ́ tó ń gbé àṣà àti ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ Yorùbá lárugẹ.
Atagbantagba lóde tagbangba ló ti pápá tó ní kí ló ní tagbangba ó ṣe.
Àwọn gbàǹkọ́gbì alárinrin ètò ọ̀dọ́ wa ló sodo sí.
Mo lè má lè sọ òyìnbó púpọ̀, but nínú Yorùbá tí mo ń sọ àwọn kan yọ Yorùbá ń bẹ̀.
Ṣé báwa náà kọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba ni? Kámú láti Kilarigbo Unlimited.
Kilarigbo Unlimited ládùn ètò tí kò láfiwé.
Alárakúàrà.
Orí ètò Alárakúàrà ní àwàyè lórí Kilarigbo TV.
Mo lo ata, tomatoes, àlùbọ́sà, ẹyin, mo lo carrot, mo dẹ̀ tún fi hot dog náà sí.
Mélòó la fẹ́ kà nínú eyín adépèlé? KPK kò gbọ̀kẹ̀. Kilarigbo ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ká ṣe àkálẹ̀ àwọn ayẹyẹ lọ́nà tí ìgbàlódé léyìí tẹ́yìn ó sì gbádùn ẹ̀.
Ọba sọ́yọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ jábẹ́sì padà, ìwọ ni Olúwa wá fàyè mi ṣe ìyanu.
Kilarigbo Live TV gbọ́n pa ẹ̀. Fún ìpolówó ọjà tàbí àkálẹ̀ èyíkéyìí ayẹyẹ tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe, ìyún event coverage pẹ̀lú owó tí ò gani lára. Kilarigbo Live TV, ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán tíá.